welcome, everyone, to DieFall Cypress. Oh, frick, that was the other thing I forgot. Hey, Rob, what episode is it so I don't have to go look it up?
You
13.
can't just do that to me, man.
13.
Is it 13? 13! Lucky number 13, everybody! Welcome, 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 welcome. We're doing the thing. Thank you, Rob. Appreciate that. Thank you. Welcome, everyone. This is DieFall Cypress, and I think right off the bat, the first thing I'm going to say is this is the, what, isn't it called the penultimate episode?
That is the...
For the first season. So, the second to last episode. It's, we're getting there. Rob, I'm really enjoying that face. That was good. I like
It's my I'm thinking if this is the final episode face because you're getting on my nerves.
Oh, well, it might be Rekko's final episode, so then we'll find out. It's been a while since we've talked. It's been a while since we've played. So let's go around here. We'll start over with Nick. How you been, bud? How you? What's going on in the life of Nick Kibbles?
Well, just a lot of hanging around, a lot of work, a lot of school. It's been kind of owning me lately. Been trying to play more Monster Hunter. And that's going pretty okay.
You're in Iceborne now?
Yeah. So I've been going through Iceborne. It's been fun. I don't think I'm too deep in it yet. I'm at the Tigrex, which is a very fun, terrifying monster.
Do you say a Tigrex?
It's like a tiger. It's like a tiger Rex. It's one of the best monsters in the game.
Sure, that sounds awesome. It's been a long time.
It's very good.
It's been a long time since I've played that, and it's supposed to come out on PC in like December.
Yeah.
So, just have to play the patient waiting game, but that's okay. We'll get there. We'll get there. What's your what weapon do you use? What do you like main weapon wise?
Right now, I'm using the sword and shield.
Okay.
Sometimes I'll usually switch from like the sword and shield to the hammer, and then sometimes the great sword.
I'm with you on the hammer. I loved
hammerhead.
The hammer. Oh, so good. I think right before I stopped playing, I got the one that does the explosive damage, and it just like blows everything. Oh, it's so great.
Yeah.
It's so great.
Especially if you get like a slanted surface and just spin.
Yeah, just
forever.
spin around. Like, yes. Oh,
the best.
Yes, there are so many spots for that. It's so good.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, now I miss Monster Hunter, so maybe I'll be going back to that sometime soonish if Fire Emblem doesn't continue to consume my entire life. Stella, how have you been? What's going on?
Hello. I have been doing
the
well.
Corgi world? How is it?
It's adorable, but its tiny legs make tall things hard to reach, and
Sure.
yeah,
I've
so cute.
heard tell that happens indeed.
Mm-hmm.
So what's new?
Nothing much. We have just been mostly doing corgi doodles over at my stream, and yesterday we did a corgi doodle where we're going to be doing a Halloween costume contest.
Oh my god.
So I drew like a base, and then my community is just gonna like draw outfits, and we're just gonna do this just for fun.
That is freaking adorable.
Yeah.
I love
So
that.
it's gonna be fun.
If I join, can my corgi just be a stick figure? Is that okay?
Yes.
Perfect. Then I'm in. I'm totally down.
Yes.
I did it. We're gonna go around on stream, not on our call. Sorry, Rob.
Why?
It's been so long since we spoke to each other.
Why are
A
you
whole 3 days.
surprising me this entire game?
A whole 3 days since
Just
we've
gonna
spoken to each other.
Not prepare me for anything.
Wait, am I too? So here's the deal. Windows had an update. Sorry, some stuff got messed up. So if I'm too quiet, yeah, I can. Give me a second.
No, it's all right. I'm the voice of God. Feed my complex.
All right. I'm gonna bump it a little bit, and hopefully it helps. All right, there we go. So hopefully that's better. Hopefully I don't yell too much in your ears now, but chat, let me know. and cast if you're listening, because Stella told me. Anyways, so Rob, have you played any more Borderlands since we played?
I basically replay. So I made a Beastmaster.
Yeah, dude, that's the only thing I want to do is play Flack. Oh my god, he's the coolest character.
I played a little bit with LB Hackemup the other night, and we basically got to just about where you and I and Bravo finished.
Nice.
So I essentially replayed, but like listened this time.
Yes.
To what was going on for the most part, instead
Talking
of just
shit to each other.
yeah, you know.
Yeah. Is the story actually good? Because like,
I mean, nothing much has happened yet, but like,
Okay.
you know, it's still, we're still in the early bits of it. It's building up.
Is Flack awesome?
Oh yeah, dude, he fucking rips, man. Like I learned when we played the other night that your action skill is not dependent or like it's not class dependent, it's tree dependent. So there's actually like a couple different action skills you can pick from. And so I picked the dog because it's dope, but I also picked you can summon 2 flaming racks, which are those like bat things we fought.
Yeah, the flying things.
Yeah, and he just says pocket racks, and all I hear is Dale Gribble saying pocket sand every single time.
Okay.
It's so nice. I see it, like I get overwhelmed and I'm just like pocket sand.
Oh my god.
So it's pretty choice.
I love it. That's wonderful. That's like the other thing. Like, I haven't had time to go back and play it because again, Fire Emblem. But like, so the one thing I want to do is just play Flack, just to like listen to him actually this time. Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. And LB was playing the Mirage guy, and he's Irish.
Is he?
I realized we didn't play with him.
We didn't play him, yeah.
So I was like, I've never heard this man speak. And he's an Irish dude. Yeah.
Huh. Okay, cool. Awesome. I can dig it. And last and certainly not the least, May, how have you been? What's going on? It's been a week.
It has
2 weeks. It's been 2 weeks. Because I was the dumb one on vacation. So what have you been up to? What's going on?
Not too much. Painting. Trying to not count the days till we leave for TwitchCon.
Yes.
Running out
but also yes.
running out of days to do things.
Ah, we lost him. He's gone. Man down.
Oh no.
It's okay. If he comes back, don't worry. In the podcast version, nothing bad happened. Okay? So we're all good here. You guys just get to see half of our faces on Twitch and some of the behind the scenes on my green screen because I don't have to cut it normally. So we're all just hanging out here.
Dude, I forgot TwitchCon was in like
a
week.
It's next week.
We leave.
Oh no.
Next Thursday.
I get a tattoo in 2 days.
You're traveling with a fresh tattoo?
Yeah.
Oh no. Oh,
What tattoo
no.
are you getting?
It's a secret, but it's going right here.
Is it big? The whole arm?
It's probably gonna be about that, yeah.
Nice.
So I guess the same size as mine, I guess then.
Roughly, yeah.
Wait, show yours off again.
I love your May. Oh my god, if my phone
Oh,
doesn't die, look at my background because it reminded me a little bit of your.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Spicy. Okay. So Nick's computer crashed.
Oh no.
No.
He's on his way back.
All right,
So don't worry.
the Cypress cast. Everything's fine. But yeah, I will say my tattoo is Marvel Comics related.
Nice. One of my friends got a back tattoo once at TwitchCon, and then she had a plane ride home.
Ooh, that feels bad.
Oh no.
I hate that. I hate the
It was
idea
lower
of
back
that.
too.
Oh no.
Oh no.
That's unfortunate.
No.
Wow.
No.
So May, I think you're the only one of us that's actually been to TwitchCon.
I've been twice.
What do you I mean, other than, I know you've worked like a booth there and stuff too, but like other than that, what do you generally do at TwitchCon? Do you like go to the panels or do you like go to the...
Gone to a couple panels when I've had friends in the panels.
Sure.
Mostly it's just walking around the show floor and like passing someone you know every 20 seconds and being like, hey, oh my god, and then you give hugs, and then you walk and they're like, oh hey, oh my god, and then yeah, it's just a weekend of that.
Very cool. I can dig that. I hope that all gets to happen. I'm super excited. And Rob and I are gonna merge beards for a while. That's gonna be a thing.
I'm so excited.
And other shenanigans, clearly that'll be accurate.
I have surprises planned.
Oh?
Yeah.
Oh, that's concerning in many different ways.
Great. Everything's fine.
Cool. Awesome. I can't wait. Again, guys, if you're just joining us, Nick's computer crashed. As soon as he joins, we'll fix the cameras, but I really don't feel like messing with any of that right now because he's coming right back. And as soon as he does, we'll get started. We'll actually play Dungeons & Dragons instead of talking about TwitchCon, where we're sadly leaving Stella behind.
Sorry.
But what I thought was cool, though, was I think 5 of the 8 people in DieFall shows right now are going to be at TwitchCon, and I thought that was super neat.
So that means
just
we're gonna
over
meet up,
50%.
right?
Yeah, absolutely, because I need that hot Twitter clout with pictures and stuff, you know? I got to get everyone in there, got to tag everyone, and then, you know, got to like and retweet my stuff. So, live show from the bar.
I'm into it. Let's do it. Let's tweet.
I feel like
let's stream live.
The first thing that we're probably going to do is whoever gets, because Rob, I don't know if you land before me, but we'll probably meet up in like the hotel bar.
That's a good question.
And that'll be like the first
odds I can check my calendar before
that we
the
do.
1% takes my phone.
District has free Wi-Fi. Like that whole area has free Wi-Fi.
Oh, really?
The odds. What are the odds? I land hella late. Oh, that's New York time.
Okay.
I land less hella late.
I actually don't know, and I think it's like 4 or 5.
You're gonna be there before me.
Okay.
If it's 4 or 5, I think I'm math 7.
Mathing it. Yep, mathing. I don't remember, to be honest. I'll have to look.
Aw.
Oops.
We
Where's
come in
this?
Wednesday morning.
Oh, that's.
Oopsie doopsie.
You guys go on Wednesday morning?
Yeah.
Wow. Is there stuff like on Wednesday?
No, but I like to get there and have a day to like
Settle in.
settle.
This makes
Because
sense.
then it's like Thursday's badge pickup, and then there's parties that start, and then it's just like if everything happens that day, it's just like it's too rushed for me.
Thursday's badge pickup. Do you know? Well, I'll have to look it up because I know like for Dragon Con, it's entirely possible because they like close badge pickup at like 8 p.m. And so like it's entirely possible to show up and then not be able to get in anything.
Hours for badge pickup, yeah.
Okay, I'll have to
You
look.
You might
Damn, I
have
didn't
to
think
pick
about
up
that.
badges on Friday.
Oh, that'd be tough. Okay, that's fine. Rob and I can, you know,
Could be
go
worse.
get drunk
This
out
is
of
why I
town.
get in on
So-
Wednesday.
we'll get out of the town. It'll be fine.
My
It'll be
job
good.
decided it was gonna need me like
true.
more than usual lately, so I couldn't
yeah.
take another day if I tried.
That is
And
the pain.
And I'm banking days for when Lana is here, so I can just not work for 2 weeks.
That is important, I've heard,
Yeah.
to like
Mhm.
spend time with your significant other.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what that's all about.
Sometimes.
It's crazy. Hope she's not in here right now while I'm saying this.
I'm waiting for her to like peek through that crack in your
She's
green
not
screen.
over here. So
It would be choice.
It would be very nice. Because then I'd be like, oh, hey, babe.
Hey.
I got a show to do. Sorry. Nick
Get out.
Nick said he was going to be on within the next minute. His toaster is cranking itself up. Hopefully it doesn't die again. And then he'll be on. Hey!
Toast bread with
Okay.
toasters, not
You toast
computers.
breads. So we're gonna do the little trick that Rob taught me to rearrange
Okay.
all the
Yeah, all
all
right.
the cameras.
Okay.
Um,
All right.
I get to be Stella.
Okay.
You get to be still.
I'm the
so
DM.
everyone, cameras off now. Cameras off. I'm the
I-
one that gets
I
the-
am
Wait, look,
Otis.
Nick's good. Nick's good. There it is.
Yep,
There it is.
that's my name. I'm
Rob, you're next. Rob, you're next.
Chaka. Hello.
Yep.
That's me.
Yep. Stella's next, and then May at the end. And we've done it! Perfect. Thank you, cast. You guys are so great. And thank you, Twitch chat, for being very patient while we deal with some minor technical difficulties. Nick,
Sorry,
good to
guys.
go, bud?
Yeah,
So far, so good.
I kicked that gopher in my computer that stopped running on its little wheel. So get back to work. So he should be running for the rest of the stream.
Fantastic. What's his name? Or her name? Or
Doesn't have one.
Doesn't have a name. Maybe that's why it doesn't really work for you. It doesn't really feel too loved, huh?
You know what? He gets partial health benefits. I think that's most, that's better than most of the people who work in this country. So
no dental, though. Definitely no dental.
Too real.
I'm not insane.
Too real. I go to D&D to escape this shit.
Speaking of, now that our entire cast is here,
Ooh.
Rob, do you want to? It's been 2 weeks. Do you want to roll for the recap, or?
Oh God.
Oh, part of me wants to.
That's entirely up to you, man.
Everybody's nervous, so I'll take one for the team.
Aw,
What is this?
Rob.
Oh, sorry.
How kind of you.
I have too many tabs open, and that one was about Tom Welling reprising his role as Superman in Crisis on Infinite Earths. I'm so excited. Anyway,
I don't know what any of that means.
Smallville was a show 10 years ago, and they're doing a huge crossover event on the Arrow and Flash and Supergirl, and he's going to be in it as Superman.
Gotcha.
Anyway,
Okay, cool.
sorry. Where we last left off. So, party hit the road again for another leg of their journey with caravan times. And they ran into an old friend that they had met the morning before, or like day of. The very, very eccentric fellow known by most people as Osterbon, or Dork if you're Recco. And he's an alchemist. He's a weird little herbalist man. And together on the road, they made it to oh God, where are my notes? They don't exist. A farm, which the name of which is not in front of me right now. Thank you, Valmaris Farm. Where the Valmaris family seemed to be missing their daughter, Emerald. And the party was able to surmise that she was somewhere to some swampy area, swampy forest land to the west, where they met Kalen, who was one of the farmhands that was out looking for her. He was kind of a sheepish, jumpy elven man, but he was doing his best, and he wanted to do right by the Valmaris family, and so into the woods they went. The party noticed that there was some fuckery about. Recco, was it Recco or was it Otis that ended up failing the save with the mushrooms?
Oh, I did. Yeah, it was Recco.
Okay,
Recco
right.
totally did.
Yes,
It's absolutely him.
And so Recco was seeing colors a little bit more vibrantly than they were for a time, and the party seemed to, like, as they went, they steadily noticed that things were a little odd, and half of the party saw something go left, the other half of the party saw something go right. They were receiving no help from the environment, as whenever they tried to mark something, they ended up coming across that mark, sometimes more than once. Eventually, Otis wrote something in the trees, and it was plastered everywhere in the forest at one point. It was quite the mindfuck, and it came to a head as Ashlog was hearing the voice of what she presumed to be a green hag residing in the forest, and she was very ominous, very threatening, but seemed to be having fun with our dear party. Eventually, people started seeing the corpse of Kalen, the man that they were traveling with, only to realize that, he seems a little weird and off, and then he just kind of vanished, cackling madly. And then they came to a clearing that had some ruins and a bunch of winged kobolds, which Recco had seen previously. And sure enough, a hag who seemed to preside over this section of the swamp. After a very fierce battle, it was a little bit touch and go there. I believe Ashlog went down, correct?
Yes.
Oh my god, the first unconscious party member. Nyara was able to actually find Emerald and a very much alive Kaelin, who seemed to have never met the party before. So at no point were they dealing with the real guy. And it was like I said, a very close battle, but ultimately the party did reign supreme, and Ashlag, spurred on by the rage that filled her over seeing a child in danger, over being downed, over being taunted by the swamp itself, the very swamp that she draws her power from, had a very, very emotional moment as she repeatedly caved the dead hags in with her head in with her mace, only soothed by the embrace of our dear sweet dragon boy Rekko, with the line, "The rage must end sometime." And it was adorable and touching, and you made me feel emotions, and I hate it.
Yeah.
But the party made their way out of the forest and left behind what will no doubt be a very chilling memory for a few of them, if not all of them, for some time. But they leave that behind, much like we leave that last episode behind, and pick up with a super dope segue of they're walking. They're still walking. They're still on their way back. And yeah, so as you guys travel through the fields, slowly making your way out of the forest now under the night sky, all seems right with the world. Kaelin still clutching Emerald's hand. She every now and then chances a glance back at Ashlag. And Ashlag, you see this energetic girl, but like what you surmise to be a normally energetic and excitable girl, maybe fascinated by nature and its wonders, which seems to be, according to Kaelin's journal, the very reason that she went out to the forest. She seems very reserved, no doubt troubled and confused and terrified. And she chances glances at you every now and again, and she's not making any effort to hide it. It's just kind of curiosity.
Ashlag will very slowly and carefully move closer to the child.
Mm-hmm.
And she reaches into her pocket with one dirty, bloodied hand. She pulls out some dandelions. She holds them out to the child.
Make me a intimidation check with charisma.
Oh my gosh, what? Okay.
Which I believe is just a normal.
Oh,
yeah, okay.
Sorry.
A 14. So she kind of, I think when your hand moves forward, she instinctively, after what she went through in the forest, flinches, if for a moment, until she realizes what you're holding. And it's just more like a reactionary, instinctual thing. And a smile starts to move along her face, and she looks up bright-eyed at you and says, "Dandelions?"
Yes, my child. Dandelions are a type of weed, but they are still a precious and delicious living thing.
Kaelin, upon hearing delicious, he just kind of like looks back and looks at what's happening, and he says, "It's all right, Emerald. Just don't eat them."
You can eat them. It's okay.
I don't think she will. I think she will take the flowers or weeds, depending on who you ask, and she lets go of Emerald's hand, of Kaylin's hand, and clutches them both in hers and holds them to her chest and smells them, and they probably don't smell very good because they've been in your pockets, and so she sort of recoils for a moment, just and she just sort of like happily carries them, forming a little bouquet. And I think as you guys walk, she sort of scouts out, never wandering too far from the group. Kaylin every now and again reminding her to stay close. She picks anything she can really find. Any sort of flower, weed, particularly long blade of grass. And she does make a little bouquet out of them as you guys are walking, and it's very cute. If you've ever watched like children play in a field of flowers, or just been a child getting bored and pulling weeds out of the ground, it's adorable. It's carefree.
I think Ashlog would try to join her and pick things out of the ground, even if it makes Kaylin uncomfortable.
I think he watches you warily, but he doesn't seem to react. I think, if anything, you notice that he starts to be a little bit less helicoptery with her as he sees you interact with the child and join her in the whimsy of picking random shit out of the swampy fields. I think it sort of silences any like, all right, stay close. You don't really hear it as often. And yeah, are the other members of the party doing anything as Ashlog is frolicking in the fields? I love it. Or hobbling.
Nyara would be just kind of like nervously looking at Kaylin, being like not sure how to talk to him to like reintroduce herself. You're like, just...
All right.
I think Rekko will probably be keeping a careful, watchful eye over Baba, but also will have struck up a conversation with Kaylin.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so it really wasn't you there that had died, right? You weren't with us. You didn't meet us. We walked the whole forest together.
No,
Wow.
I had been in the forest for quite some time before you all arrived.
Very tricksy, that magic, yeah?
Yes, well, we don't typically like to linger in a hag's forest for that reason. I don't want to discourage Emerald, but that kind of curiosity leads to danger if you are poking around in places like that.
I've heard a saying, curiosity kills the kid.
I don't think that's it. But when dealing with...
I am pretty sure that it is curiosity kills the kid. Or maybe it is child. Curiosity kills the child.
Please stop. And he seems very uncomfortable.
Nyara leans over. It's cat.
Cat?
Curiosity kills the cat. That's the phrase, I think.
But cats are swift and have 9 lives. Curiosity will not kill them.
Well, that's why they need 9 lives.
Rekko gets like a really far away look in his eyes, like the whole world is just shattered in front of him based on this, and looks back over at Kaylin and says, well, I am glad you are not dead. And then continues to ponder the saying, curiosity kills the cat.
As am I. And he kind of, I think it kind of occurs to him that nobody's really like introduced themselves, and he is like, yeah, well, and he's like, I suppose you know my name is Kaylin. given that you traveled with someone pretending to be me. What may I call you?
I am a Reko Sinaroma, Dragonborn Barbarian.
And he turns to Nyara.
I'm Nyara. I work with Cypress Company.
Yes, you had mentioned that you were all with the caravan, right?
Right, I did. She her cheeks go super red. Like, idiot myself.
No. It's been a harrowing night already, and it's early. And he sort of gestures to Ashlog, Ashlog, what are you doing at this point? Are you still have you found anything that is interesting?
No, these are hag fingers, little girl, and these are fairy stool mushrooms.
And she just kind of goes on to describe everything that they're picking, what they're good for, and if whether or not you should eat them. And a lot of the things that they pick, she says it's okay to eat them, when probably it's kind of more like a gray area, but she definitely, yeah.
Okay, that's great. And so he looks over at Reko and Nyara after indicating Ashlog.
Oh, that's Ashlog. Yeah, she's very well versed in the swamp.
She's the Baba Yaga.
I that can't be true.
But she is there in front of you.
Well, yes, I mean she certainly looks like she's and he seems to kind of be searching for a polite way to say it. Well versed with the swamp, but why would she be playing with a child and not stealing a child?
Otis, you are very smart. Convince this man that is Baba Yaga, yeah?
It just, am I real? What? Yeah, it's the Baba Yaga. You've heard the stories. They're all true. She's right there.
Otis, you've kind of been pondering whether or not you're real or you're really out of the woods, and you sort of look. I think you look to Petrus for confirmation. And roll a D100 for me.
Oh boy. 24. As
best as a mechanical stone frog can hiccup, I think he just sort of half croak, half hiccups, and barfs up a small little stone disc that you definitely didn't put in him. And you pick it up, and it looks to be this multicolored. It almost has kind of the look of oil on pavement, where as the light catches it, it sort of has a rainbow coloration to it. And I'm searching for the word right now that's called. I can't think of it.
I know what you mean. I have no idea if there's.
But it's iridescent, maybe. You kind of turn it over in your hand, and the colors sort of shift. And it's just it's this tiny little disc that definitely wasn't part of his design.
Wow. Petrus, we're gonna have a talk later. I don't know what the hell this is, but I pocket it.
Okay. Yeah, so mark a small multicolored stone disc, I guess.
Score.
Yeah, score. That's the key to stopping MET right there in your hands.
That's it. Oh my god,
we've done it. The final puzzle. And so Reko, after Otis confirms the story of Baba Yaga, you turn back to Kalen, and he seems to be looking at Ashlog full attention now, concerned, very concerned.
Reko looks proudly and smiles. Ah, yes. The most powerful of every being in the swamp. That's her over there. And she travels with us. You are very lucky to be in her presence.
Yes, that's a word, certainly.
Lucky is indeed a word. I learned it here in the South.
Okay then, and maybe I think there's a bit of awkward silence after that point as Kaylin just kind of every now and again casting nervous glances toward the girl and the Baba Yaga playing with her. I mean, Emerald seems to be having the time of her life though. It seems any and all fear from the encounter in the forest has been washed away. And yeah, so if nothing else in particular, if you want to do anything else in particular, rather, words are fun. Let me know, but otherwise the journey back to the farm goes off without a hitch. Yeah. So
I think Reko does want to talk to Baba, but is seeing her enjoy herself, and that's like a good change from the last couple hours. So he's gonna just let it go.
yeah, and you get the feeling there'll be time when you get back to the farm and things quiet down. And yeah, so the party eventually comes back to Valmaris Farm, and you see the first thing you notice is that it doesn't seem like the caravan is still there. It seems like they picked up and left. You remember that Gabrielle had said that they can't be delayed terribly long. The higher ups at Cypress, or Dick Dad, kind of wants them on a bit of a tighter schedule, especially given the interference that the company has run into thus far. But you do notice that the cart of one Osterbahn still is parked out there. The wonderful horses, Osterbahn Jr. and Gouty Sally, still hitched nearby. They were unhitched from the cart and kind of put on like longer leads on a nearby fence post, acting as a hitching post, just to give them a little bit of a break. And you see a figure on the at the front door of the farmhouse, who, upon seeing the party, as soon as they can make out the amount of shapes that approach, jump up and run toward you at a full sprint. And how did I pronounce this? Oh god, it's such a simple name and I can't remember what I said. It's either Kieran or Siren. I think it's Kyran. I don't know. The dad, Valmaris. Boy, oh boy, I have had a week.
Easy enough.
I have had
Valmaris.
a week.
Valmaris.
Understandable.
He runs up, tears in his eyes, and he embraces his daughter. Oh, Emerald! Oh my gods, I thought you were dead. Oh, I thought I lost you. And he just, it's emotional. And she almost, as children tend to do, doesn't seem to understand the gravity of a daughter going missing for almost 24 hours and what that does to a father. It's just kind of like, Daddy, I just playing in the forest. He says, please, I will take you to the forest anytime you want. Just don't disappear like that. And he, just not letting go of her, he, kneeling there, he looks up at the four of you and just says, I don't know how I can ever repay you. Thank you. I don't know what I would have done if I had lost her. And he just goes back to his daughter. And I think after a while, he rushes her over. And as they start to walk back to the house, he she presents him with the little bouquet and says, "Daddy, look, I picked these with the nice lady over there." And he says, "They're beautiful. We'll put them on the windowsill." And he leads her back to the farmhouse. And the last thing you hear is, "We'll have to wake your mother." And yeah, so it seems all has gone well with the Valmaris family, and Kaelin is just kind of left standing there, awkwardly casting glances at this very colorful party.
You did a good thing today, huh?
Oh,
This
very
felt
much.
good.
Very much.
Yeah.
Yes.
Before Kaelin leaves, Ashlog will just point very aggressively and say,
Do not let her go back into the marsh alone.
I would not think of it. I'll make... Hearing voices. I will... Oh, it's you. Man who lives here. Heard voices. I got confused. He looks back frightened at Ashlog. He's just, I wouldn't think of it. Had I known she was going, I would have stopped her.
Ashlog just kind of turns away.
He seems sad. Poor fella. I don't think he's quite let go of the fact that this little girl who has taken such a liking to him, he couldn't save her on his own. Whatever
Greco gives him
happened.
a hearty pat on the back and goes, don't take it too hard. Nothing bad happened today. We are all well and alive, especially you. You were dead earlier.
I wasn't. That was the hag playing tricks on you.
I am pretty sure it was you, but you came back. It's pretty good. It's a good trick. I should learn that sometime. And then Rekko just kind of turns on his heel and walks away from him.
Please,
Not even gonna let him respond.
please don't try that.
How do I come back alive if I die?
Naira will reassure Kaelin that I don't think he'll be able to do any kind of tricks like that. It's fine. It's fine.
But he did it, and it was so cool.
He nods and heads back to where the two of you, Ashlog and or no, I'm sorry, they were fucking around with David the Spider. Nyara and Otis would know Calum where he hangs his hat, as it were, on the farm. David.
Still mourning.
Kaelin's gone check on Osterbon in that field.
Sure, yeah. Yeah, so looking around the farm, it seems everything has quieted down. You see as you look toward where Kaelin went, you do see that there seem to be other people in that bunkhouse. It seems that the search parties had turned in for the night, or started to turn in for the night, to begin again anew. So I think it seems as though in the morning, the good news will be spread. And yeah, so looking around the farm, the only thing that you see, only movement, as Nyara turns to look toward the field, you see a puff of a flash and a puff of pink smoke over by where the field is.
Oh no!
And vigorous coughing.
Yep, that's our friend over there, all right. So, well, okay.
I just
kind of steals herself for this interaction.
So this is Joel the player.
Mm-hmm.
Bets on him being the alchemist. Anyone? You think?
You're still hanging on to that, huh?
Yeah. I anyone? What's the over under on Osterbon being?
You know
the
what? I think we should
alchemist?
just jump in there and beat him up.
Yeah, well, we can find out.
One way or another.
I mean, It's not him, and we're not going to do anything like that, DM.
Don't worry, don't sweat it, DM.
Oh, no,
It'll be fine.
fine.
Mhm. All right, great. Roll initiative. Oh,
Sorry,
God.
man. Go talk to our friend Osterbond. Our friend. Yes.
Osterbond, our friend.
If that is your real name. Oh God. All right, yeah. So the party heads over to the source of the commotion in the field, and as you draw closer, you start to hear the mumblings of a frustrated man slaving over a hot whatever he's doing, and it just cuts damned concoction never works on. I told them not to deliver until the 3rd of the month, and these ingredients are probably already bad. Gods know where I'm supposed to get this at this hour. And he's just flustered and just chatting at the at whatever's on the ground in front of him.
Do an insight check walking up to him. See, actually doing what we told him to do.
Or is he the alchemist?
Roll an insight check.
Make sure I don't have
14. So, by what you asked him to do, what do you mean? Like defining what tainted the soil?
Because I forget like our actual wording when we left the farm to him. But yeah, like we wanted him to look into what was causing the creepy necrotic rot going on.
Okay. Yeah, and so as you walk up, you don't really have much in the way of alchemical knowledge, but you know enough. I think you know enough to be able to recognize somebody experimenting on soil samples. It seems as though he has a in a little like what looks to be like the lid of a wooden barrel. He's sort of set it up as a makeshift like flat surface to work on, and he's got little like vials of soil, presumably samples from the field that he's working in. One of which seems to be a completely shattered bottle that's possibly exploded, causing what you saw. But it does. Your insight check is enough to tell you that, despite bumbling, he does seem to be trying to discover what exactly is going on here.
Is he aware that I'm approaching him, or is he like full zone focus?
Absolutely not.
All right. She's not gonna full on stealth, but she is gonna quietly walk up, and when she's like, and then it's like, so did you find anything?
He drops the bottle that he was holding, and the soil inside of it sort of spills out. Please don't do that. Oh, it's all of you. Hello. What was the question?
Did you find anything?
Well, yes, there's something going on here.
Well,
I don't like it.
that we understood, but do you know what it is?
It's bad. It's very bad. It's bad. This should not be. This should not be here.
Okay, so far you've only told us things we already know.
Let me explain. And he gets up and he kind of does one of those, like he stretches, and you hear every vertebrae in his back just like.
Oh, wait, that sounds so nice. Wait. Posture check.
And he looks to the sky, and as if noticing for the first time that it's nighttime. It's like, how long have I been out here?
Probably all day.
Oh, bye. Oh, I hope they fed Gouty Sally. She gets very angry when she's hungry. You wouldn't like her when she's hungry.
I'm sure the farm is taking care of them. She's like shrugs like I have no idea.
Yeah, I'll figure it out. Anyway, you see, and he looks to Rekko, and he bends over, grabs a fistful of nearby dirt, not from the field, but from like the nearby grass. He just kind of like grass and all just takes a chunk out of the ground and holds it up to Rekko, and he says, If you saw this where you come from, wouldn't that be... It's out of place, correct?
DM?
Hmm?
Is it out of place? For Rekko to understand that? I'm waiting for the roll check, because that's not likely.
I guess like roll... Is insight intelligence or wisdom? I feel like it's wisdom. Yeah.
Wisdom. But there's like nature. So.
Yeah. No, I mean roll me an insight. I guess you'd be rolling to like gather his meaning by that is what you're asking?
Oh, kind of. I guess he said he picked up dirt and he said if you saw this where you live, is it unusual?
Hmm.
I don't know how much Rekko knows about like working the land.
Oh, I see. So where you're from, it's very like rocky and craggy. There's not a whole lot of, I mean, there's tillable land. The dwarves and the dragonborn tribes have kind of been able to carve out small patches of like farmland.
I imagine like terraced steps
Yes.
of and stuff like that, but
Yes.
like I don't know how much Rekko would have interacted in that other than like it being in the area for him. You know what I
Okay.
mean? Like he's been around it, but I don't know how much he'd know about the soil itself. You know what I mean?
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, so I guess like a nature check.
-1. Here we go. Hey, it's a 1.
Oh, that's a 1?
Yeah.
So Rekko, I mean, he's holding up dirt.
Little man, that is dirt. We do have that where I come from. It would not be unusual to have dirt.
Well, yes, but
It's all around us.
you don't have this dirt. And he kind of shoves it in your face, like just, right? This dirt would be unusual if it was next to your dirt.
Well, this dirt is here. My dirt is in the mountains, so yes.
Precisely. And he like kind of
Unusual.
unprecisely, he just sort of like forgets that he's holding dirt and it just splats all over your armor. Precisely. And he just turns on a heel and goes back to Nyara. This soil should not be in this soil.
So who? Okay, so well, the farmers fertilize. Wouldn't that have different soil?
I don't know about you, but I wouldn't fertilize my crops with poison.
Well, I don't think that was the intent by the farmers.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a farmer. What do I know about fertilization?
You live in a farming community. I imagine you would have picked up something along the way.
No, I live in Osterbahn. We don't farm in a way. I don't farm. Why would I farm? I have people to do it for me. My point being, this is highly unusual soil in the sense that it has a magical element to it, but it also has a poisonous element to it. And to be perfectly honest with you, can't make heads or tails on what its source is.
Like where it would have come from?
I've never seen a spell that could cast itself or cast. I've never seen a spell be cast to make this happen, and I've never devised a concoction that would generate this sort of magical signature. And he sort of and it's funny because as he starts rambling, it seems like as he kind of goes along with it, he starts to make a little bit more sense. He stops talking like the crazy ass Osterbahn and more like, oh, maybe this guy does have some sort of knowledge and he's not just a total fraud. And he gestures Otis to something that looks somewhat like your detect. What is it? A wand of detect magic, or whatever it was called. It's similar, but it's very much like cobbled together with different bits of like wooden implements. Where I think yours is stone. And I don't know what the source of this magic is, frankly. Or poison. I can't even figure out which one it is. I've never seen anything like it.
So you're saying someone has gone to very great lengths to bring this soil in here, to even create it.
I'm saying that whoever did is very knowledgeable about their craft.
Where's this dirt from? If it's so special.
Well, as far as I can tell, and he picks up 2 of the bottles. One of them, he is kind of arbitrarily marked with like a symbol that like vaguely looks like an M, and one of them that like vaguely looks like an X. And he says, this one, no, wait. This one, holding up the same one, is from Moreka. Natively, I gathered it from the field over there so as not to gather from the contaminated dirt, which is this one. And upon close observation, they seem to both be soil samples from Moreka. So it's not the dirt that's native so much as the properties to it.
Right.
Do you know of anyone else in your field that does?
Well, not as well as I do. I'm, if I may say so, the most well-traveled and studied alchemist in these parts.
But I just heard you say that this was... Well, you implied that this was beyond your...
I never said any such thing. Nothing is beyond my expertise. You believe that the exact words he used would be beyond his expertise?
Rekko's just like, while he's picking dirt out of his scales.
I think he actually did say that.
Yeah, he totally did. We'll just leave it. It's fine.
Still picking dirt out.
So, where does that leave us there? We just, can we help maybe clean this up? Or I'm not even sure what there is for us to do.
Well, I'd like to run some more tests tonight. So if you want to help with that, you are welcome to. But I must admit that while I am an expert in many things in this field, teaching is a little bit difficult for me. I have a hard time. What's the word? Dumbing it down for you. So you can watch if you wish. But I will be at this for at least the rest of the night.
Oh, I've got time. I'll watch.
Think I'll you'll find we're a little more competent than you might be giving us credit for.
And yeah, at that he opens his mouth to say something, and I think at that exact moment, Petrus just kind of
Yeah.
and he looks down as if noticing Petrus for the first time, and just well, that may be, but I am still the man with the town named after him. And he just kind of very petty goes back to his dirt. He's a little bit all over the place, but upon your early observation of watching him actually work, he does seem to be very meticulous and scientific about what he is starting to do. Rekko and Ashlog, is there anything that you would like to do?
Rekko knows this is way out of his element. It's like, it's dirt. It's just dirt. Why do we care?
Yeah.
I will. Where are we staying? Should I just set up camp over here somewhere?
Yeah, sounds like we'll be camping out here in front of the
sleeping
farm.
outside. Okay. I will set up camp then.
DM, is there like a relatively clear area where if I started a small fire, I would not burn down the crops?
Yes, absolutely. You can, much like the other couple of farms, the farm is like very much just like right on the road. So if you wanted to either set up camp right outside of the property, it would be like just kind of like the shoulder of like the road in between the farm. Or you could set up across the road from it.
I don't want to be like too far from them, so whatever's closer.
Yeah,
so I can,
okay.
like, keep an eye out because we're still in strange territory.
Sure.
But well enough away to like start a little camp.
Yeah.
So, like, I'll grab everyone's bags and stuff and just like go make camp.
Okay. And Ashlog?
Ashlog will help him.
Okay. And so Nyara and Otis, you are kind of like on standby to help Osterbon should he need anything, I suppose, or are you
Stand by to help, but also like just to keep an eye on him.
okay?
Because that's, he's the only alchemist that we know at all.
I love it.
He's the best.
I've sowed the seeds of suspicion. I love it.
He's the alchemist, I'm telling you.
It's great. And Otis, same story there.
Yeah, and Petrus is with us too,
Yes,
hanging out.
Hell yeah. Yeah, so I think as things progress and Rekko, you light the fire, and Ashlog, maybe you're pocketing some of the things you picked in the field with the girl.
Taking stuff.
Just taking
Baba,
plants.
I am setting up camp. Quit taking things.
No, I need this stick. The stick will be handy later.
Well, you could put the stick on the fire. I'm trying to.
As he's like, Rekko's like got his flint and steel out. He's like trying to make the fire. So
You could add some tinder to the fire, yeah?
She just kind of like uses thaumaturgy and just sets a fire.
Oh.
Yeah, so I think as the fire lights, the two of you notice maybe like you hadn't noticed a person standing there a second ago, but the fire sort of like alights, and suddenly you notice that Valmeris is approaching and like sort of stopped in his tracks as soon as that happened. Just
Rekko forgot you could do that. Ugh.
Ashlog kind of just like points the stick instinctively at him and is like,
Oh, it's you.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to sneak up on you all. I just and he walks over to Rekko and he extends a hand to you. And
big clawed scaly hand comes out and
Hell
claps him like
yeah.
at the forearm and obviously like dwarfs his entire arms.
yeah.
Like,
Valmaris.
Thank you. I don't know how I will ever be able to repay what you did for us, but I can at least offer you a roof over your heads if you'd like it.
Oh.
Luck looks over at Ashlog.
Do we want to go inside?
Do you have meat?
Yes.
Yes.
Are you, oh, I'm so sorry. Where? I'm so out of sorts ever since the longest day of my life. My manners escape me. Yes, of course. I can prepare something for you all if you're hungry. And he kind of looks over to find Nyara and Otis, and he notices them with Osterbond just kind of fully engaged in whatever nonsense he's doing. And he just kind of, his shoulders kind of shrug a little bit, and he's just, that man is a character.
He is playing in the dirt, and they are very interested in it. I do not understand. Let us eat.
Ashlog kind of just waves her arm and the fire goes out.
Yes, I right this way. I suppose I'll come back for them. They look busy, and yeah. So he leads you back to the farm, offering also to carry any of the bags if you need help.
Recco tosses him probably like Otis's bag. Otis, if you don't have yours on you, I'm just like, it's like pack rolls and whatever, right?
Yeah.
Like it's not a big
And a
deal.
bunch of rocks too.
Yep, it's just a bunch of like metal and stuff. Just like good catch.
Yeah.
Just like shoulders Nyara's and
and yes,
Ashlog brings her sick.
thank God, you're gonna need that anyway. When do I tell them that the stick and the multicolored stone disc are the keys?
we knew.
Yeah, so he leads you over to that like house that the farmhands stay in. And there seems to be a couple of empty bunks. So there's like I believe I had said it last time, but it's sort of like adjoined rooms. So like each one has like 2 beds to a room. And so there's a pair of beds for Ashlug and Recco. And he sets the pack down outside. And he turns to you and he says, I'll go see if I can rustle us up some meat. Anything in particular? Poultry, beef we might have.
A lot of meat.
Whatever is available.
And like Recco, like not so subtly leans over to Ashley and goes,
They are not very wealthy. Don't take everything from them. But, mead, ale, any, spirits?
Of course, yes. I actually have a wonderful bottle of wine that I got from Ash Blossom.
Wine.
Is that okay?
Recco just kind of, yes. Not super sure what. He's not ever had wine. This is gonna be an experience.
Okay. And yeah, so he'll head over back to the house. And it takes him some time. So Ashlog and Recco are alone there for
like they're like a
a little bit.
Is there like a seat by the fire? Is that like a? Do they have like a small hearth?
No, but there is a fire pit outside. There are a couple of fire pits. Just it seems like, and a couple of like benches that
sit on.
people, yeah, like
Oh, sure.
they're, like makeshift like seats for people to like take breaks on or just like hang out at night. Nobody is partaking tonight because I think they're all wiped out from just like combing the swamp left and right looking for this girl. So yeah, there's seating and a place to warm yourself by a fire if you'd like.
Yeah, Recco's gonna take a seat.
Yeah.
Baba. Come here.
Ashlog kind of sits on the floor and she pokes the fire with her stick.
Good.
How are you feeling?
Much more dry now that we are not in the swamp.
It is good, though.
And Rekko like looks down at his just like, because he doesn't wear boots. He's just got like big old clawed feet, right? And he's just like his mud covered like calves and pants and feet and stuff.
This will take a while to get out. Wish we had those baths again. Very good for scrubbing.
Ashlog has no thing to comment on.
No, it's fine. He's mostly talking to himself. He's like,
Baba,
What is it, Rekko?
in the swamp. Did you know the green one? The one we killed.
No, my train.
oh, it's the train. Don't worry, it's just D&D train.
choo.
D&D train o'clock. So the train pulls up to the farm, unloading a herd of cattle. We have all the meat in the world. Oh my god! And barrels upon barrels of beer and ale, and then walks off the crier and the artificer and the mole, and we solved it.
Season 1 is over.
We did season 1. We've done it.
We did it.
Rekko looks down. She's very quiet.
You know, when I was younger, the rage takes every dragonborn in the tribe a different way. And sometimes it is hard to stop. I am proud of you. You were able to stop. It is difficult.
I do not think that it is the same, Rekko.
How do you mean? It looked familiar.
She kind of stares longingly into the fire, and you can see this sort of veneer of strangeness and being aggressive just kind of fades for a second, and the lines of her face soften, and she just says,
It is not good when there is a hag unhinged in a swamp. Many terrible things happen.
Like the stories of you.
I have changed.
Ah, I see. Did you know this one?
No, but they are all the same.
How did you change?
I woke up one day. She's lying.
Rekko's dumb. He's never gonna pick it up.
Okay.
So you can lie as much as you want.
I woke up one day and I saw a different life.
What life did you see?
One that would take me far away from the swamp that you found me in. That is not where I wanted my tale to end.
Is that why you said I must come with you?
No,
She's totally lying again.
no, I am here to guide you, but when it is time for you to continue without me,
I do not understand. Why would I continue without you?
She just continues staring longingly. She kind of falls quiet, and she says,
destiny might protect you, but I have done many bad things, and destiny never forgets.
There is always bad things, but you can... Whenever we would come back from a raid, and many people would die, many of our enemies and many of our friends, the shaman would say, that we would have to find balance in all the death. So some of us would work, some of us would care for children, or cook, or serve the dwarves. Balance the good with the bad. Is that not enough for destiny? You did a very good thing today.
I did what I had to.
But for the right reason? I saw you with the child.
My reasons were entirely selfish.
Rekko's gonna insight check that because that is entirely against what he's watched today. He's not a smart man, but he's not super dumb.
I believe in him.
Come on, Rekko! I'm gonna use my inspiration point.
Ah, a 10. Wow.
Yes! Totally average. Good job, Rekko. What do I know? Baba Yaga.
She's totally not lying about that particular part, but it's probably, I think even like with the 10, you can probably tell that she's opening up in a way that she's never done before. And this subject in particular is very uncomfortable for her. She fidgets a lot with the stick. Her hands are shaking a little.
Rekko is gaining a lot more insight to a person than he has ever had before. He notes these things. He goes, wait a minute. I'm making her uncomfortable.
Baba. You do not have to talk to Rekko if you do not want. I am only curious. It is odd that when I came to find you, that you say my destiny and yours are together, and that I must go with you and you must guide. I thought maybe I would find the monster we saw today, and my destiny would be entirely different. I'm sorry to pry, but I wonder.
I almost died today.
I know.
I don't think destiny will protect me like it does for you.
Some days, I don't think destiny will protect me either. As much as I say that I think it will.
He opens up his shirt where there's fresh wounds all over his body because he took so much damage.
This will not last forever.
No.
But we have to try. For whatever that destiny is that you keep saying I have.
Rekko, what is it that you want? Why go through all this trouble?
I have brothers. They are not bronze. My family is not bronze. And once in every lifetime, a bronze dragonborn is born. And they are gifted with special abilities and are expected to lead the tribe to glory. I am a disappointment to my family and my brothers. I am small, smaller than the others, not as good with a blade, not as good in a fight, and not nearly as cruel. These are signs of weakness. My mother told me to leave the mountain, find the Baba Yaga, find my destiny, and return stronger and ready to take over the tribe. Every day I spend away from there, I miss. But it also feels good to be free.
I think that when destiny takes you back, you will be strong in different ways. I do not think that you were meant to be like your brothers, Reko. You were born to be greater.
I hope so, but this is a dangerous road we walk. I do not know what I would have done without you had you actually died today. Next time, you stay behind me.
We will see what happens.
Where is that man with our food anyway?
Yeah, I think you both sort of talk for a little while, and eventually, Valmaris does come back with some meats. It seems like he went the route of beef, and he comes back with a bottle of wine, and he and a couple of mugs. I was like, glasses. Wait, they're outside. I don't know. I feel like it's gonna break. No, mugs.
No, they're like farmer people, right?
Yeah,
Like woodware, whatever.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
So.
And yeah, so I think we cut away from that back to some alchemy nonsense from the Alchemist.
The Alchemist.
Hashtag
I
the
knew
Alchemist.
it!
He's not.
Roll for alchemist.
Or is he? Well, actually, he. So I think Osterbon, you've watched him, Otis and Nyara. You've watched him toiling over some sort of a mixture, and he had previously set aside the 2 different bottles of soil samples, and he has taken out a fresh vial from his alchemy satchel, and excuse me, and I think he just wants to get started. And it's funny because he has like a little portable, like the closest thing to a Bunsen burner that's not like attached to an active gas source and like in a chemistry lab. It's like a little portable. It almost looks like a sterno that he just kind of puts under like a ring, like a metal stand for the vial, and he begins pouring. It looks like just clear water, just regular water in it, and heating the mixture. And he has a pestle and mortar, and he's working on. I think even with a very like basic alchemical knowledge, you would know what wormwood is, and it's just like basically found in like shrubs around Moreka, just like along. You've passed plenty of it, and he's just kind of muttering to himself about this being the base. And after he's like talking to himself for some time, as if he just remembers that he has people around him, he sort of like points to Otis without looking at him, and he just demands a cap, please.
I look at Naira. I think I hate this man, and I go get the cap or whatever it is.
Do you know? Does Otis know what he's referring to?
Maybe.
Roll a do you give a fuck check. Roll I guess just an intelligence check.
Like nature or just straight intelligence? Same roll for me.
Yeah, I suppose it would apply to nature. You could do a nature roll.
Yeah, 13.
You believe that he is gesturing to an is it amanita or amantia? I don't know. The red mushrooms. And like an amanita cap, amantia cap. I'm sorry, somebody will correct me. It'll be fine. Very like, again, another like very standard looking mushroom. There seems to be like a little pouch of them, and the direction he's pointing in is vaguely over there.
I grab it and I go over to him. Yeah.
All right, and not even looking, he takes it, and he's just muttering, and he starts like mashing it up in his mortar and pestle, and yeah, it just kind of keeps going on, and I think at some point, he starts, as he's divvying up little like the correct portions of like this, and like kind of just no, and like adds more wormwood to kind of like balance it out. He says, have you ever created a bomb before?
Sorry, what? A bomb?
A bomb, they explode.
No, I know what a bomb does. No. What? Why?
Well, it's very fascinating, you see. The Amanita cap and the wormwood react in such a way that on its own doesn't really do anything. It's more like the base. But if you added something, say, the fire moss that I gave to your friend, you could create a mixture that produces acid. Was it fire moss or was it friend moss?
Nair is like, oh, why are you making acid?
I'm not making acid.
Oh, then why did you ask about bombs?
Because I wanted to know if he had ever made a bomb.
Yeah, no, I haven't made a bomb.
Well, if you ever wanted to try, I'm gonna need a cap, friend moss, fire moss. Oh, they're the same thing. Did I sell that to? He kind of pulls out a little notebook and like scribbles a rough arrow in between like two different lines, sort of indicating, oh, these are the same thing. And he just kind of tucks it away and goes back to it. In any case, if you're not careful with your mixture, what I'm doing right here could explode.
Nair takes a few steps back.
Oh, no, you're fine. It won't reach you. It will only hit me and him.
Step forward.
Yes.
And then what is it that you're cooking up here, chef?
Well, it's a rather complicated mixture. It's to test the level of toxicity in the soil. And if my hypothesis is correct, then this rather, shall we say, negative element to this soil should turn this mixture blue. Blues are not always bad. But in this case, it is. Blue is bad.
So I'm a little confused here. You're trying to turn the solvent blue so that you so we can see it, we trace it. Is this what you're thinking?
Well, I would like to try to replicate the mixture. If I can figure out how this was made, I might be able to figure out how to fix it. But I have no earthly idea how this was made. It's beyond my expertise.
Well, I suppose you need more materials.
Oh, yes, absolutely. And he sort of notices, upon you saying that, he notices that the mixture is starting to boil over a little bit. And he picks it up off of the burner and almost, and he just sets it down carefully, and he gets up and he shuffles off to dig through one of his pouches, leaving Nair and Otis alone for a moment. So he just sort of consults his notes, muttering to himself.
Nair walks over to Otis and says, what is going on with this guy?
He seems to be weirdly knowing what he's doing, but it's kind of hard to tell with him. Still hate him though. I think I still hate him.
You do think he's trying to help, right?
I think so. It looks that way. He seems just as lost as we are, so I guess that's
Something, I guess.
something.
Mhm.
You know, Nara, back there in the swamp,
Mhm.
for a moment there, Petrus, you and I were the only. Well, I thought. Well, still not sure, but I thought we were the only real things there.
Right. I saw that too.
Just trying to get a grasp on what's what we might be getting ourselves into. If we're that was just some old woman in the swamp. You know?
I see what you mean.
There's no telling what a real practiced alchemist might be capable of.
We are so out of our depths, aren't we? She just like looks real worried.
It's a little bit of what I'm afraid of.
Oh dear. You're certain that those that came back with us are in fact the real versions of themselves, right?
Petrus is real. Aren't you, Petrus?
Naya just like gently pats Petrus. Oh, okay. That's reassuring.
Yeah.
How does it do that? And he's sort of like Osterbon hobbles over to Petrus and like gets on his hands and knees and like stares directly into. Does Petrus have eyes?
Yeah. He's got like he's got like facial features, kind of like a frog.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so he stares directly into Petrus's eyes.
Petrus doesn't blink.
Neither does Osterbon.
All right, that's enough there, guy. Petrus on the side. Petrus doesn't move.
Neither does Osterbon.
Oh God.
Naya just kind of like take her hand and just kind of like wave between them their faces.
No reaction from either of them.
I think on that note, 'cause this is a great place to take a pause, we're going to take our first break of the evening as Osterbon and Petrus will take the next 3 to 5 minutes to continue to stare each other down. Thank
I
you
don't
for
know
joining
how
us
Osterbon
tonight.
can last. Petrus doesn't blink ever.
Yeah, you can't.
Doesn't
Yeah.
have eyelids.
Yeah,
Fine. That's fine.
but Osterbon's the alchemist, so what do we know?
What do we know?
He's probably got eye drops, right? Yeah.
Forgot
we'll-
I have this notebook that just says alchemist over and over again.
We'll be back in 3 to 5 minutes. Thank you for joining us on DieFall Cypress episode 13, the penultimate episode of season 1. We'll be right back. Hey guys, once again, thank you for tuning in tonight to DieFall Cypress episode 13. If you want to get caught up on all the DieFall action, this show and our other shows, you can head on over to the YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/runawayrobot. You want updates on new shows, because we are coming up on the end of a couple of seasons here. You can follow us on Twitter at DieFall_RPG. If you'd like to get caught up in podcast form, you can head to iTunes, Spotify, and SoundCloud. search for DieFall Dungeons and Dragons, and you can get caught up there. Thanks again, everyone, for tuning in, and we will be right back. Welcome back, everyone, to DieFall Cypress episode 13, part 2 of the episode. We're just showing off mugs and cups and things, but we're back, and
that might be keyed out. Oops.
Oh, a little bit, but you can still see
yeah,
Evil Genius at work. It's almost the right
Yeah.
key color. It's almost the right key color.
Yeah.
I think we find ourselves in the midst of a staring match, or DM lead us back in to maybe not the rock in a hard place.
Quite literally.
I think yeah. So I think after a little bit uncomfortably long, I will say, maybe Petrus does like a at one point, and then Osterbon mimics it, just nah. He blinks and then like walks away, seemingly remembering just then that he has a potion brewing, that he had already taken off the burner, but he was like, oh, I can't let this sit for too long. In any case, this will probably take me about another probably about another hour or so. Well, come back in an hour and we'll have our answer. No, wait, how long have I been at this? 30 minutes. 30 minutes and we'll have an answer. And yeah, so if y'all, I'm effectively treating this time as like the beginning of a rest. If you guys are looking to begin a rest for the night, or we could pass 30 minutes and then we could see what he figures out. Up to y'all.
I think Rekko is comfortably resting by a fire somewhere,
Yeah, that's fair.
trying his first glass of wine ever.
Ooh, what is so Rekko? How do you feel about wine?
Hang on, I have this band-aid on my arm real quick. I'm gonna tear this off before.
Is this a metaphor?
No, it was real. That's actual.
Oh.
Ow, that actually really hurt. I'm a hairy dude, so that was really painful.
I feel that. Oh, I bet they're gonna shave my arm for the tattoo. It's gonna be so weird.
Okay, I feel better now.
Proud of you.
Rekko taking the glass, the wooden cup, sniffs it. Long dragon tongue kind of snakes out as he.
It's very grapey. It's a little bit of a dry wine if you've ever had like a dry red.
I don't know if Rekko would have ever had grapes. Are there grapes in the mountains, Rob?
Probably not.
I do not know what this is, but it's not bad. A little sweet. Similar to a mead, yeah?
I think it's made of berries.
Berries. I met a man named Barry once. He did have blood like this. Barry, you are delicious, I think. If only I had known.
Kind of just sits back at the fire with his glass in his hand.
It is very delicious.
That is what I said, yeah? Berry. Delicious. Berry is berry.
Yes.
Ashlag dabs. Oh, thanks. I hate it. We cut back to presumably enough time has passed for this mixture to be done, and Osterbon rushes over, grabs it off of the burner, realizes it's hot glass, puts it down. Damn it. And takes out a long metal rod to sort of like stir the mixture. And as he does, it starts to the ingredients slowly kind of like dissolve and blend together, and you get this like a red liquid, not far away from the look of like a healing potion, like a similar color of red, but it almost has like healing potions kind of almost have a thicker texture to them. They're not quite like a sludge, but like they're like a heavier, like a thicker liquid, and this very much just looks like red food color dyed water, like very like thin, I guess is the only way I can describe it. And so he pours it equally into, after letting it cool for a little bit, he pours it equally into 2 empty vials, and he picks up the 2 dirt samples, looks left, looks right. Oh, M for Moreka. Yes. And he just sort of drops the he drops the quote unquote normal soil into one of the vials, and the other one, the quote unquote bad soil, into the other. And sure enough, whereas the one from Moreka, the red sort of dims a little bit. It sort of becomes a little less saturated, if only like almost imperceptibly. But the other one, the quote unquote bad one, definitely the liquid starts to discolor. And I mean, it's a little hard to tell in the dark, but it does seem to be like a bluish color as he had surmised. And he's, Eureka, excellent. I mean, not excellent. This is bad. This is very bad, because this is completely unknown to me, but not for long. I think I might be able. This is a start. This is a start. I still don't know what this dirt is, but we're getting there.
That sounds good. Yeah. Right?
Yes, but
Right?
Cool.
Unfortunately, I'm going to need to take this back to my lab. I've done all I can in the field, but I'll probably collect a good amount of soil samples, maybe a yam or 2 for the road. Gouty Sally is... no, wait, these are bad. These are corrupt yams. No.
Don't eat the produce.
Can't have her lose another leg.
His eyes just widen, like, what hell? What happened?
Yeah, that'd be terrible.
And so, yeah, I think he gets up, and again, he sort of stretches, every bone cracking, and he makes a big show of being like, well, job well done. We've done it. I've done it.
Right. Do you know of any of your any other alchemists in your field that might be capable of this sort of thing?
Of what? Making a solvent? Yes, all of them.
That's good.
It's
also of doing this to the soil.
Putting it in a solvent? Yes, anybody with hands could do that.
All right. Yeah, good talk there, Esteban.
Do you have a list of names of all the alchemists that you know of that might be within Moreka?
Alchemists in Moreka. Well, it's not as common as, say, a blacksmith or a merchant. There are no guilds for alchemy per se here.
Word of, mouth.
I mean, I'm sure there are
right?
hobbyists.
Well, this seems to work more beyond a hobbyist, wouldn't you say?
Oh yes, absolutely. I'll admit I don't really leave Osterbahn much. The village, not me. I am very much inside of me at all times. However, my apprentice does do a bit of traveling.
Your apprentice?
Oh yes, fine woman. She's very bright, very. I mean, she's not as talented as me, but she's got a bright future.
You haven't mentioned her before.
You never asked.
You got me there. What's her name? Is she back at your lab, or is she out and about?
I believe she should be back at the lab. Yes. She is supposed to. Oh my! I hope she hasn't forgotten about the potions I had burning. Brewing, not burning. Hopefully not yet. Oh. Oh no. What's today? She's back. It's fine. Is it fine?
Maybe we should head back in the morning to your lab to make sure that your lab is still standing.
Well, you didn't have to word it like that. Now I'm not going to sleep. Wait, I don't sleep. Anyway.
Right, so we might be able to ask your apprentice what she's heard.
If you want. I mean, there's nothing that she would know that I wouldn't know. I mean, I'm teaching her after all.
Well, not about the actual skill of alchemy, but you say that she's traveled, might actually talk, and might heard of other alchemists.
Well, yes. I mean, I suppose if you wish. I thought you were on your way to Ash Blossom, though?
Oh, yeah, we were.
Yes, we are. We can make it work.
Well, I do have to go back home tomorrow. However, I could send her to Ash Blossom if you're going to be staying there for a while.
That would be perfect. I don't know how long we'll be staying, so if you send her promptly, that would be best.
Yes. There are a few things I wish to pick up from the market, I think. They don't always have the freshest ingredients in Verso. I should make a list for her.
Yeah, and have her come for the Cypress company, of course.
Yes.
If we're not there, they would know where to track us down.
Did you were in the forest earlier, yes?
Yes.
Did you see any devil's blood leaf?
Maybe.
And you didn't pick it? What do you mean, maybe?
That's not really my area of expertise. You could ask Ashlog. That's more her area of focus.
Anyway, cypress trees. What were we talking about?
You're okay. You're gonna send your assistant to Ash Blossom, to the Cypress Company HQ.
Why would I send her to? Oh, that's right. Of course. Yes, of course.
Ira's gonna make an insight check. Like, is he pulling her leg, or like, is he just really spacing out?
Please roll insight.
Like, there's no way. Oh my god, our rolls have been trash.
11. He is a little all over the place. I think he's got a lot going on in his head right now. I think he seems to be distracted, but he's trying to do too many things at once, and in essence is half-assing a lot of things right now. Listening being one of them. But he's in the process of... You've noticed as you're talking, he's in the process of, like, he's got 2 pages open in his notebook, and he's writing on one, and it looks like in a list format, and then, like, in the other one, it's sort of like entry and observation about the, like, solvent and, like, what he hypothesizes is the concoction that's causing this, and then he like accidentally writes in one, like scribbles it out, writes on the other one, attempts to engage in conversation with you. It doesn't really work, and then another thought strikes him and he thinks about this. He's a little all over the place.
No, I was like, how about I write the reminder for you in your notebook?
Oh, this is from notes, but you could write it in my reminder notebook.
Okay.
And he pulls out what looks like an agenda, and on opening it, you see a much more legible and more feminine handwriting. And it seems that his alchemist, or his apprentice rather, kind of has written appointments and like reminders for him, like this potion was put on the fire at this time, take it off at this time, brew this, we need this order, we need this, that, this. Yeah.
Naira will take the notebook and kind of address to both of them, considering it looks like the assistant apprentice is the one who handles this notebook probably the most. And I will like make an like appointment, apprentice alchemist. Like, what's her name?
Name
of your apprentice.
Is it the alchemist?
Chat pointed out I said his alchemist instead of his apprentice. There's a lot of A words, guys. Don't read too much into it. He looks in his notebook for the answer to this question instinctually. And when he doesn't see it, he's like, Lilac.
Okay. So she'll put in brackets for lilac question mark. Assistant apprentice to Osterbond.
The alchemist.
Please make your way to Ashbottom as soon as you see this.
Unreal. I'm so done with him. I'm so ready for him to go.
I was like, how do I make this guy as annoying as all the NPCs claim he is? I spent a lot of time with this.
Oh my god.
Nailed it.
Thank you.
Did real good.
But yeah, so he happily takes his little agenda notebook thing that seems to be handled by, for lack of a better word, somebody of a more organized and thorough methodology. And so yeah, so he quickly packs up everything he has and places the barrel lid that he procured from one of the other like barrels on the side of the house just snugly back in its spot. He gives it a little pat, and he just kind of continues to clean up, and over his shoulder, seemingly in the direction of Otis, he says, "Feel free to keep any other caps."
Not keeping them. Not. Naira,
Yes.
I really hope Osterbond isn't real.
Her eyes like wide and be like, well, that would make a lot of sense, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
This place is real weird.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Seemingly confirming, you hear a next to you.
Thanks for keeping us grounded, Petros. Just kind of pat his head. I guess we'll go join Racco and Ashlock and just hope he makes it back to his lab.
I'm sure he'll be fine.
Hey, you guys set him up with a new wheel or fixed his existing wheel on his car.
It's a horse with a
It's
music.
fun. Oh,
Yeah.
Gouty Sally, don't you worry about her. She knows
Gouty
what's going on.
Sally,
She knows what's going on. She's good. She's good. She's the glue of that little cart. She's the
That's,
glue that holds it together.
That's a horse joke.
I was gonna
Isn't that-
say she's the glue because
I didn't even mean to do that. I hate it. I hate it.
yes.
All right, I'm throwing out all my notes. Fuck this. God damn it.
And we're done here.
And we are done. Oh god.
Don't worry, Rekko's enjoying a fine glass of berry, and
Barry. Oh god.
Naira like approaches, but just because Otis is really unsure about everyone actually being real, she's just kind of like eyeing everyone very suspiciously.
Oh no.
She's kind of like, okay, maybe they are real. She's kind of like, maybe we're fine. Maybe.
Naira, make a perception check.
Aw.
are they real?
6. That's a crit fail on the die. Naira, you have never seen Rekko drink wine.
Oh no. Oh god.
She's like,
Hmm.
she's like, Otis.
It has a very
He. That's wine.
I think it would taste better with some swamp water in it. She's like,
Well, that's
I
on
do
brand.
not agree with that. I've seen you drink the swamp water. It's very unsettling. This makes me feel fancy. The berry guy I was telling you about, he was very fancy, man, before I cut him to pieces. He had a very nice coat, very nice sword, lots of money on him. And, you know, dark red blood.
This is probably the first time y'all have seen Ashlock drink too, because she's
Yeah.
always had water.
It's
Oh,
true.
fuck, that's right.
Naira's like,
Oh no.
she just got her like hands on her face, like this. They're,
Ah, Nayara, come, sit by the fire. There's plenty of berry to go around.
very gingerly walks over. Right. Okay.
Otis, come.
Yes.
I don't.
Hello, my real friends whom I care for.
Yeah, real. See it with real wine, yeah.
Sure, yeah. Can I grab a cup?
I assume we have cups, so I'm just gonna pour him some.
Yeah.
Here, it's made with berry.
Wow, yeah, no, keep pouring. Yeah. Great.
Uh-huh. Oh.
You keep It's good, it's good,
Oh,
it's good. This
Oh, okay. That you went through that very fast.
Did I?
It's
good. Good
I was
wine.
told it was for sipping.
No. Drinks are made for drinking. I'll have another.
Look at the bottle. Rob, how much is left?
What have I done? I'm gonna say, so Rekko, you and Ashlog have only had
Yeah,
like
glass.
the one.
I've had at least a glass.
Yeah, all right. I would say there's less than half left. You're not really versed in like how you pour wine, and so maybe
Sure.
you filled it up a little bit more than is, I don't know, socially acceptable or recommended.
Right. He's not thinking about socially acceptable. He's thinking about
For sure.
how best to get his next cup, but without making Otis feel bad about also getting some in his cup.
Got it. Okay.
So he pours whatever that amount is. Otis, it's probably less than you thought you'd get.
I think I understand. I see that there's, still wine left in there, and I figure more for others. But I down this one the same.
Nayara, look, a glass in here for you.
He like leans to Otis, like, is the wine real?
It's good wine.
It's pretty good.
Nara, I say, out of all the things that have happened, a fake glass of wine is not the worst.
She like nods in agreement. True. She's like, all right, I'll have one.
Good.
He pours a good glass and hands it over.
Thanks.
That's
thanks.
lovely. Yeah, and so
She also downs it unreasonably fast.
Yeah, so you're coming up on like where the end of the bottle would be. It looks like it was probably good for like 5.5 of those big ass pours.
There is meat.
There is meat, and Ashlog gestures to a plate of just kind of a pile of meat. It looks like beef, and there also seems to, Otis and Nyara, you notice them. I don't think the other two were looking for them, but there are also vegetables.
What is a vegetable?
Yes, exactly. Exactly. And yeah, so there's sustenance, so you won't have to have rations for the night. And yeah, looks like a decent spread.
Great. Definitely dig in. Have some of that.
All right, it's real, as far as you can tell, so you're good. My God, I love it. Am I gonna pull the finale that the rest of this session was a dream? Like the last 2 sessions were a dream. Let's do it. Doing it. And yeah, I mean, if there is this kind of how you spend the rest of the night, just like drinking around a campfire, eating?
Yeah, a long rest time.
Yeah.
We kind of got busted up today. So
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
take that long rest.
Ashlag, are you drinking out of your cup or your drinking horn?
Oh, definitely my new fancy horn that I stole.
Oh yeah.
I told.
Does it poison her forever? Does she die? Is she the alchemist?
She becomes the alchemist. The horn
Whoever
of
holds the drinking horn is the alchemist.
Roll
Hot
perception
potato.
check
Okay.
as you're drinking from it.
I can see I have eyes.
20 and 20. You swear for a moment that the liquid inside of the drinking horn slowly, very, very slowly began to replenish itself. Very, almost imperceptible, as if you needed a 20 or better to notice it.
So Ashlag probably has been drinking kind of heavily with Reko, and she every now and then she looked down at the empty horn, and then she notices there's more in it. I think she
just
kind
a
of
little bit,
just a tiny bit, yeah. She kind of like holds it in a way where Reko can't see.
Yeah, and it doesn't seem to, just because I feel like Ashlag would be like fucking around with this concept, it doesn't seem to do it if there's no liquid in it. But like you got down to like the very, like maybe like say this is your amount, and then like after a minute or two, it's like slightly up to here. It's like, huh, that's neat. That's nifty.
Ashlag.
Sorry,
nurses
podcast
for
listeners. I just used a visual representation that you couldn't see.
Yes.
Maybe a like a centimeter or two of replenishment every few minutes, maybe. It's very, very minute. But yeah, good spot.
But yeah, I think Reko's intending on just this is it. He's resting for the rest of the day. He's done.
Yeah, that's all right. And the party, as Rekko or Ashlog would be able to indicate to you guys, there's another room, two rooms with 2 bunks each, so 4 total bunks. I don't think Valmaris considered if Petrus needed a bunk or not, but yeah. So there's ample space for you guys to rest inside for the night. Could also rest under the stars, whatever you want to do. But yeah, you guys are able to take a safe and nice rest. If you'd like to set watches, that's a-okay.
The room where Rekko and Ashlog are probably smells really bad by now.
Yes, absolutely.
What do you mean? We are just full of swamp water
Nah, it's fine.
and blood.
Nah, it's fine.
Our blood and other people's blood.
Nah, everything's fine. Everything's fine.
Everything's fine.
Rekko.
Yes.
Give me a wisdom check.
Rekko is
Rekko the Wise.
wise. Oh, he's not actually at all. It's literally nothing. 17.
Oh, 17.
I forgot to take the advantage
No,
off.
that's
There we go.
okay.
Back
That's
to
okay.
normal. 17.
A 17. Yeah, so Rekko, I think as you sort of as you doze off and the dreams start to come in, the wine dreams. No. I think at some point where you were you're brought back to the Bronze Rise, and you're standing atop just like a mountaintop, like or like a cliff, basically, like way up in the mountains, overlooking the rest of the Rise. And again, you feel, as you did last time, a hand on your shoulder, indicating that there's somebody there.
Rekko turns around.
And you turn to find a doggo.
Puppy!
No. You turn to face another unfamiliar to you in every sense but the scales, a bronze dragonborn looking back at you. And
Are they bigger than I am?
oh yeah. About a foot taller.
Hello, brother.
Can I tell if it's a male or female dragonborn?
It's a male.
Hello, brother. What brings you to the Rise?
Same as you. I am born here.
I have not seen you before. And I feel like I would notice you. Large as you are.
I just realized, would Rekko be speaking dragonborn at this point? Because probably.
I would imagine so. I mean, you would probably be speaking in your native tongue, yeah.
Perfect. He knows more words now.
Ah, nice.
You speak of many things.
I do.
Destiny,
Oh.
strength, leadership, weakness, being small, as you say. Rekko syndrome. Strength comes not in size. Strength comes in character, in action. Do well to remember that.
Brother, who are you?
the dream starts to fade.
Brother, who are you? No.
And I guess it just goes.
Yeah, and you're sort of brought back into the normal, like, vagueness of dreamland. It was just this rare moment of clarity in all of it. And, yeah, I think the night passes. Ashlog, what kind of spooky shit you up to tonight? Anything?
So tonight, Ashlog gets drunk, tipsy, and doesn't do spooky things.
Ooh.
Nair is very concerned about this.
Nayara's been like taking notes the whole time.
So Ashlog does not sleep very much often. She probably only gets a couple hours of sleep. And tonight, she just kind of goes into one of the beds and she just rolls over and curls up.
It's like a cat.
Meow.
Meow. Wait, meow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, poor cat.
Yeah, Nayara, I think you've noticed this and you're like, that's weird. That's very unusual.
Little notebook up. He's like,
It's Tuesday. She always rolls the bones on Tuesday.
no bones. No muttering. Is this really Ashlog? Question mark.
No true spooky shit. What's happening?
Yeah. Ashlog, you make me a wisdom check, please.
Sure. I think Ashlog would have had a few sniffles before she falls asleep.
Sniffles. A 9. I don't think it's anything as literal as Rekko experienced, but Ashlog, you sort of reflect on the day's events, I think, as you sleep, and they, whether you wanted to or not, they sort of replay in your mind, and something does occur to you. As you had told Rekko, you didn't know the hag that you fought in the woods forest. This was not the source of your connection to the swamp, but you would know, just having experience with hags, that there's more than just that out there. There's like a network of them. They don't often travel into each other's domains, but maybe in the moment she was in your head, but this is not usually the voice you hear. Voices. I feel like there's a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah,
night.
yeah, and I think while you were in Verso, you had a slight connection. This one felt very unfamiliar, more intrusive, as you kind of collect yourself and go to sleep. And Nayara, I think eventually you'll be trancing. Yeah, I think you. Yeah, no, it begins as sort of like paranoid. Rekko did this, and he usually scratches his nose with his left hand, but tonight he scratched his nose with his right hand, and I don't trust that. And it's a little bit all over the place, and Otis, you're just mad about Osterbahn existing. I think. Yeah. And I think maybe as you lay in bed, you're turning over that like disc in your hand. And I forget that I think this is actually, almost just knocked over the glass. I think that's like, I'm thinking of stone cunning, but do you have anything about like stonework in as an artificer? Is there any sort of familiarity with?
I could definitely, if it applies to any of my tool proficiencies, I could use my tools to try and think about or try and figure out what it does, but I don't think I have anything really like stone cutting.
No, I guess the closest thing would be smiths. Okay, I mean, yeah, there's nothing super sophisticated. You're just sort of like, I think, turning it over in your palm and looking at the colors shifting as you do. It just seems, and I think you assume that it was something Petrus like nibbled on when you were looking around the ruins at the hag's lair. You were sort of like rifling through the different rooms, and you assume, they probably picked it up when we were in the forest. That cheeky little guy.
Can I try and use my tinker's tools to see if there's anything about it other than it just being a pretty rock? Like,
Sure.
try and see if there's, some sort of layers to it or something like that.
Yeah, maybe like to feel like to, I guess, sort out if it's just like, if there's mechanism to it, if there's, I don't know, I guess like if there's inner workings to it.
Mm-hmm. If there's
Okay.
something else about it.
Sure.
Would this be like intelligence or wisdom?
Don't you have something for like using Tinker's tools
Yeah,
to
so-
do a thing? I forget.
Yeah,
what
whenever I use
what
my
the check
tools,
is.
I have double proficiency, but I think for whatever
Using the tools as dex.
is dex.
Yeah, I thought there was something with Artificer that he gets. Oh, I might be thinking of Nyara with the perception thing. Like she has like keen mind or something. Or keen eye.
I get double proficiency, but that's
for
about
you. I guess that's it. Okay. Yeah. So go ahead and do that then.
It's 22.
Holy moly. Yeah, so 22. So tinkering around with it, I think you definitely have not seen. I think the first thing you note is this is definitely not naturally occurring. It's something, whether it be man-made, hag-made, who knows. There's no obvious signs of like dwarvish architecture, the way that like Rekko's blade might be carved that way. Like there's no obvious signs of like a cultural indication of where this comes from, but rather it seems to, its origin doesn't seem to be native to Moreka or even like the surrounding area. It doesn't have a mechanism in it. It's definitely carved and like smoothed out, but like you've never worked with a stone like this. And with the 22, I mean, you could definitely surmise that it is stone of some sort, but where it's mined from, where it's found, this is entirely foreign to you. But it is just kind of a neat iridescent stone.
Huh.
Yeah.
Petrus. You got a good sweet tooth there, buddy. This is pretty nice.
Just kind of like imagine that it was like an oyster with like a grain of sand.
Like a pearl.
That under the immense pressure of his mouth, it ended up being this,
He
like,
created
weird-
this.
He created this. Yeah.
Oh man.
I just feel like he eats random stuff and like
And
all
just
of the
barfs
compression,
out
it just
stone.
barfs up some
Yeah,
creation.
yeah. Yeah, and so I think you sort of fall asleep turning this thing over in your hands. And before long the day has broken. At some point, I think as you guys are rising in the morning, you do hear the like beginnings of the day, the farmhands sort of waking up and getting ready to for a long day of normal work, thankfully, not like combing the fields looking for a lost girl. There's a much more, even before you leave the building, you can just hear jovialness and like just a much more like carefree, lax attitude. You know, people cracking jokes after, like, as they're leaving the bunks. It's, you know, it's a very peaceful and happy morning. Like, it's a bright day. It's a good day. So yeah, what would you all like to do as you wake up?
Does Rekko have a wine hangover headache? If you've ever drank a lot of wine, you'll know.
Don't think he does. I think you
Wasn't a lot of alcohol, so like
Yeah.
might be okay.
I think Rekko is a hardier person.
You'd think that, but his
you'd
constitution
think- yeah.
score says otherwise.
It does. No, it does. But I mean, I would like to think that he is a seasoned drinker. Ashlock, however, is this abstinence from alcohol a normal occurrence before meeting the party?
Unless she can find some kind of alcoholic fermented something in the swamp and it's readily available, then yeah, this is probably first time.
A Constitution saving throw.
I am hardy.
16. You shake any like sort of fogginess off fairly quickly, as you maybe not even having like been sleeping, just sort of zoning out, not even a trance, just kind of like you're like, all right, so I guess it's time to start the day. Yeah, and you seem to be okay. And I think Otis and Nyara, you're fine as well. Having despite pounding a glass of wine each, it was really just the glasses, like those single cups of wine. So, yeah. How would you all like to start the morning?
I suppose we pack up and then supposedly we have a job to do, so we should probably catch up with that caravan of
I got
ours.
some sort of job or something.
They're
something.
kind of sort of paying us to be around and so graciously let us go save a little girl. So
Yeah.
I think Rekko will say goodbye to the family or whatever and say,
Thank you for your hospitality.
Yeah, of course. And I mean, coming out of the bunkhouse, you see Valmaris now looking significantly more rested than the first time you saw him. You know, chatting with Kaylin and a couple other farmhands and just sort of outlining the day's tasks and what needs to get done. And you do see Emerald sort of like just playing in the field. Notably, not the field that seems to have some sort of corruption. It seems that a couple of the men have sort of like roped it off. Just having not really drawn any conclusions about what's causing that, but they know like, hey, this ain't good. And yeah, so upon seeing you, she sort of waves from where she is and just goes back to traipsing around on the property. She knows not to leave the property. And yeah, upon seeing you, Valmaris sort of like claps one of the guys on the shoulder and nods to them, and he goes over and says, "Oh, was everything all right? I trust the accommodations were okay." I saw the empty wine bottle. I guess you liked it.
Very enjoyable. Barry sat very well with me. And my companions as well.
Yes. Well, we it's from a fine winery in Ash Blossom. So.
Oh, there is more where we're going.
Oh yes, yes, absolutely. I let them know Valmara sent you, and maybe you'll get a discount. But yes, I suppose you all have to get going then. Is there anything else I can do for you?
No, I don't think so. We actually have a job that we need to be on, so.
Yes. And it seems our mutual friend Osterbahn left last night
dork.
as well.
Yeah, dork left.
He is a bit of a dork. That man is very strange, but I'm hoping that he at least has some semblance of an idea as to what the hell is going on with my yams. Well, in any case, thank you again for what you've done for my family. Anytime you find yourself on the roads of Moreka, know that you have a place to sleep here. You've done us more than I could ask any stranger to do. So thank you.
It is our pleasure to do good things for the people here. Isn't that right, friends?
Sure. Yeah.
Yes, of course. And she like still kind of has a eye on Reko and Ashlog.
Don't let her go into the swamp again.
Oh, don't worry. I've had a very long conversation about it. Thank you again. And she spoke very highly of Baba's bouquet that sits on her windowsill now. So thank you for comforting her in what I'm sure was a very traumatic experience.
Ashlog looks like she's trying to suppress a grin, but then when he says traumatic experience, she just scowls.
We must go now.
Oh, I understand. We've got a lot of work here to catch up on, so safe travels. And Reko, the winery, trust me.
I think I will make some time. Yeah.
All right, and yeah, so y'all part ways.
Yeah. Oh, on the way out, I just want to let him know that he needs to change up his soil. The problem is in the soil, so that he knows what's going on with his yams. Because I don't think we told him.
Oh, okay. Oh, the soil. Okay.
Yes, whatever you need to do there. Gee, I'm not a farmer. I don't know.
Yeah. We'll do our best. I mean, maybe a controlled burn. I don't even know how I would go about that. It's not something. It's not pests, so I can't exactly exterminate them. I'll figure something out, but I appreciate it.
Yeah. And I'm sure Esteban is doing his thing. So hopefully he
Yes.
gets back to you on that.
Yes, I'll be sending word to his village and hopefully hearing something back that I can read.
Yeah. Good luck.
Yes. Thank you. And yeah, so he heads off and does farm things. And yeah, the workday begins on the Vomaris farm. And as the party continues their way to not parts unknown. No, you know where you're going. Sorry. To
We
parts
do.
unknown. Not that. That's
We
the
know
bad.
where we're going.
Yeah. And yeah, so the journey takes we can just kind of like skip ahead if that's okay. It's gonna probably be another like almost a full day. I'm just like pulling up my distances right now because I totally forgot that I have that. Ugh. Go launch. But yeah, as you travel through on the road, you again like this part of Moreka is getting significantly less like swampy. It's a lot more like light wetlands to beginnings of fields, and whereas you were seeing things like crocodiles. You're now seeing things like, boars and more normal like Plainsfield animals. Probably a little bit more familiar to stuff that you would have passed on the way to Moreka, Recco. You are beginning to feel a little less out of your depth here, which is always nice. So, yeah.
Sounds like lots of meat.
For sure.
Mm.
Absolutely. I mean, you can always hunt a boar. Or 30 to 50. I hate myself. I hate myself. I promised I wouldn't do it again. I lied to you all.
Who needs a gun when you have lightning breath? All right, man, I'm down. Let's
Hell,
do it. 30 to 50 boars on my property coming after my children.
Yeah, so it will end up being about like a full day's travel. So you would, leaving early in the day like this, you would probably be able to get there after just one more rest. Like you might have to make camp a couple miles out of town, but so if there's anything in particular you'd like to accomplish on the way there, let me know.
Nah.
Nah?
Let's just get there. Let's get there.
Just an easy.
I think maybe the party's all agreed that Osterbon is in fact the alchemist.
All right. All right. And yeah, I think as you start to get closer to Ash Blossom, you're beginning to see more and more patches of like, whereas there are things, as I said, like shrubs and like wormwood and everything kind of lining the road here and there, you're starting to see more of like patches of flowers and a little bit more it's a lot more scenic than I think the swampier areas were. It's a little bit more like this is the land that people were looking for when they like started to colonize Moreka. This looks like it's more like settleable, tillable, maybe
less
like
swamp.
Yeah, less swamp, less scary,
swamp.
less of a touch of like the little like parts of the more like fey touched areas that you've encountered, like the forest, like, and this is much more like just peaceful, livable nature. And as you come up the road and it sort of like turns to the north, you see on a more hilly area, sort of overlooking the road, the town of Ash Blossom. And it's a lot like Verso in that it looks like it's more of a, like it's got a like an outer wall. You see a couple guard towers lining it. It looks a lot more like settled, a lot more like lived in, I guess. Like it's been around longer than somewhere like Avion or like any of these little farming settlements you've seen. And you notice, whereas coming up on Verso, I think you saw like 2 guards, like just kind of standing. Oddly, there seemed to be like kind of a crowd of, and not a crowd is a little bit aggressive, like 4 or 5 guards sort of like milling about, like talking, looking a little bit more, their body language suggests that they're a little bit more on edge, and like, I think the 2 with passive perceptions of 15 would note like their body language and their expressions as you sort of come up the road definitely give off a worrisome look. And upon seeing you, I think one of them sort of kind of composes himself and walks up to the party and says, excuse me, what business do you have in Ash Blossom, if I may?
Oh, we're with the Cypress company.
at that, he's definitely tense.
Do we see the caravan anywhere?
Yeah, our caravan should have come in just a day or so before.
They arrived last night. Yes.
Okay.
He sort of like looks over his shoulder. It would probably be best if you made yourself scarce here.
What happened?
We're dealing with a and he seems like he's not really sure if he should be telling this to you all. Citizen, I'm asking, maybe now is not the time to visit Ash Blossom.
If it has something to do with the Cypress company, I would like to know.
Roll a persuasion on him.
Come on. What's going on?
An 8.
Today's not Nyar's day.
I assure you, if the Cypress company is expecting you, I can give them word that you arrived. Can I give them your names? I'll speak with one of the blades if I can. I really, for your own safety, I think this is not the time to be here.
Well, we're not marked with any company insignia. How would anyone know if we are trying to get to headquarters?
Well, they'll see you enter the headquarters and you'll be made.
Well, not if we don't use the front door.
What is the issue here? I am trying to get to a very nice winery.
I thought you said you were with the Cypress company.
In
Nah.
addition to
Winery, though.
We're multi-layered people here.
Like an onion.
well, if we can maybe, on the guise of going to the winery, will you let us pass? And then, if something should happen, something should happen. We won't start anything, but I don't know what's even happening in town.
I'm going to forget that you said you were with the company.
Okay.
I advise you to keep a wide berth.
Of the trade.
It's a little bit volatile right now, and we are trying to deal with it.
Is someone dying? I am a healer.
Nothing of that sort. And I think at the mention of is someone dying, he's like, he shifts uncomfortably. Maybe like switches his weight from his left to his right foot. And he just, I will follow me. And he brings you all to the other guards that are standing there. And he points to one of the ones that's about, he's almost Rekko's height, but not quite. Definitely not your muscle, though. So don't you worry. And he says, "You with me. We will stand. We will stay close to you all in case. But what business do you have with the Cypress company?" And he looks to Nyara.
Well, we were just with the caravan, but we got delayed at one of the farms.
Okay. And are you from one of the other headquarters? Are you from Verso?
We came from Viso.
Oh, yes, I mean, what is your position in the company? Are you known?
Insight check this man, please.
Yeah.
Anybody who wants to insight check him can insight check him.
Right.
Yeah.
Better.
So 12 from Nyara, 6 from Rekko, 17 from Otis, and 22 from Ashlog. Rekko, he is acting weak. Like, dude, you're a guard. Like, come on, man. Shape up. Otis and Nyara, he is definitely out of his depth. He seems that there's something weighing on him, and he's not really sure how to proceed. And like, you guys showing up was kind of the like, oh, now what? Like, fuck, now I have more on my plate. Ashlog, his line of questioning is less for a fear, or is less for, it's less about what he wants to do to you. It's more afraid of what might happen to you, if that makes sense.
Why are you trying to protect us?
There is currently a situation outside of Cypress, and we are trying to keep it from turning violent. Now,
What do you mean, situation?
if you wish to go to the winery, I will take you there. Follow me.
What do you mean, situation?
Naira will just be like, we'll check it out after the winery. Just get into town first.
Fine. I would like some more berry anyway.
And yeah, so the two guards, a little bit ahead of you, so as not to be like on your ass and like clearly with you, they escort you into the town, and you're coming up on like similar to Verso. The gate opens to what would be like the main thoroughfare of the town, which is like pretty much directly opens to a market square. Unlike Verso, where it was sort of kind of like cordoned off to the side, this is very much like, this is the main thing that you want to see when you come in. Like, it's sort of like a tourist trap almost, where it's like, whoa, the market, whoa, all these cool things. However, there's a lot less, like the energy is, whereas a normal market square's energy at the height of the day is very much like beginning to liven up, and everybody's sort of like, the shops are opening, the food is starting to cook, like, you know, blah 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 blah. This is very much like there's this air of like fear and like tense, like it's very tense, and there's a lot of, I think, Nyara and Ashlog, well, no, I think all of your passive perceptions are like 11 and up, right? Yeah, so I think as you're passing by, you're hearing like rumblings of like you hear like the, you know, this is the day, like, you know, the it's finally time. It's finally, like, you know, it's, oh, they're gonna get what's coming to them. They're, you know, this is there. You hear MET thrown around. You hear Cypress thrown around. There's a lot of like, it seems like something is coming to a head. Maybe the political situation that Balas had alluded to is much more prevalent here, and it sounds like you're coming into a town divided. And as you pass through the market square, and Rekko and Ashlog get looks, But it's more of a like whoa, check that guy out. Like, damn, he's shiny. It's more of a curiosity than an animosity. And as you get through the market square, you come along to what looks like it's like the guild quarter. And that's where you pass the MET building. And you notice, I think this is where the higher passive perceptions would notice, Ashlong and Nyara. There are plastered a few like posters, kind of all up on like the wall of the side of the buildings around here, all kind of calling for like justice for Mareka and like independence for Mareka and like remember who we are, remember why we formed our nation. And it's a lot of like almost, it looks like a political cartoon of like elves dressed in very opulent outfits. And Nyara, I think that's supposed to be your dad.
Yeah.
And yeah, it very much is anti-Cypress propaganda, I guess. Very much like, whoa, the Ballas wasn't kidding. And you turn a corner and you all see a crowd outside of Cypress, and guards are there, hands on weapons, in between a crowd led by a very outspoken human man, really just riling them up with like, see how they protect them. They don't care about you or I. They care about who makes them the money. It's all about money to them. Hilarious. Well, I wonder what would happen if the fatted calf was slain. And he gets the normal, like, these townsfolk are like, oh yeah, I'm with this dude, and the on the fatted calf is slain, I think he points a finger up to a window, and for a moment you all see Nyara's dick dad in the window, and he sort of on an indication like that, he turns away and walks deeper into the building. And you see a couple blades standing by as well, outside of the doors to Cypress Company. And
Is this kind of thing normal for you, Nyara?
No, this is definitely not normal.
They seem agitated.
I feel like that's an understatement.
Trying to be polite.
Okay.
Are you the bad guys?
No, but I think they think we are.
Why would they think that?
Because we're not from... Well, I'm partially, but my family's not really from Mareka. They see us as outsiders in a invader's sense.
As you guys are passing, and this individual is riling up the crowd, something is thrown and a glass is shattered. And all hell breaks loose. But hey, it's 10 o'clock. I gotta go do other things.
Do it. You do it. I guess as soon as you said all hell breaks loose, I looked at the clock. It's like, I wonder if... Son of a bitch.
Find out on the finale of season 1.
So, chat, you're getting your street riot. Here we go. This is gonna be it. We may be killing villagers.
What?
This is probably the rowdiest campaign.
Oh, are we not? Are we not doing that?
What was that, Nick?
I was just saying, from bar fights to street fights to this is a rowdy campaign.
Hell yeah, dude.
Rowdy.
Hell
Get
yeah.
rowdy.
I'm into it.
We all just want to get paid and get rowdy, dude.
Dude,
That's how
I
it
mean,
goes.
we work for the Cypress company. If
That is
they're going
true.
to start killing civilians, I don't know what we do about
Yeah.
Oh, God. Okay, cool. Thank you, Rob. And chat, that was the second to last episode of season 1. So, as a note at the top here, and I'll reiterate it at the end after we do some shout outs, there will be no Cypress next week because most of us will be at TwitchCon, which is awesome. So follow the Twitters when we do all the shouts and stuff like that. Follow Twitters, Instagrams, etc. And we probably will do a little bit of live streaming from there. So pay attention. Whether or not it's announced, we'll have no freaking idea.
Yeah, we're
It'll
gonna
probably be
try. Joel and I are gonna get drunk and just be like, "Yo, you want to
just be like,
stream?"
hey man, my phone connects to the internet, and be like, yo, what's up, stream? And then like 3 of you will show up and be like, who are these hooligans? And like, yeah, that's us. This is us in real life.
Yeah.
But I don't know how to like hold the camera, so I'm gonna hold it down here. We'll all have like quadruple chin, but luckily mine's hidden by the beard. So, anyways, let's do some shout outs. Nick, where can the people find you at?
Yo, you people can find me over at twitch.tv/NickHibbles. I do a show over there called NPC Lab, where me and my buddy Cassie, twitch.tv/@Bravo, do an NPC. We roll an NPC for Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. It's a lot of fun. It's every Wednesday. Last night we rolled, we rolled a villain, and it was a medium-sized gnome, and it was the worst thing we've ever done. We've done some pretty bad things on that show, and
They've been pretty good.
that was terrible.
In the worst way possible. So it's a lot of fun. You guys should tune into that. It's a pretty good time.
Yeah, we have fun creating these abominations. And then also, I'm in a band called Dropcase, and we've been writing some new music and doing some stuff. And we have a release date, September 26th. We have 3 new tracks dropping. So look forward to that.
Oh
It'll
my God,
be
that's soon.
Yeah, it'll be next Thursday. It'll be when
I'm
we're
gonna
down.
be in the air. Why are you doing this?
Can't even listen to it when it's released. Wow. All right.
It'll
Cool.
I think it'll be on Spotify, iTunes, like all that stuff, wherever you listen to music. Go ahead and look
Nice,
up Dropcase OC, and there we will probably be.
Nailed it.
Oh yeah.
Thanks, Nick.
You can
That's
tell
exciting,
he's a
man.
musician.
That's exciting.
Oh yeah.
Congrats. Stella, where can the people find you at?
Hi, friends. I am Stella Luna here on Twitch. I am a variety streamer. I do things of the artsy fartsy kind on Wednesdays, and I do Dungeons and Dragons of the cutesy doggos and Pokemon and sci-fi weird D&D over at my channel too.
So, thank you. Roberto, where can the people find you at?
Places. When I'm not torturing these fellows or studying my wilderness survival guide, I'm.
That's a thing. Wow, okay.
Yeah, I have a bunch of like random alchemy things that I printed out for potion-y things. It's dope.
The Alchemist, I'm
It's
telling
cool.
you.
I am the alchemist. We got notes on all the herbs and Moreka. I've been at work. I've been thinking about these things. Anyway, you can find me a couple of different places on the interwebs. I'm just gonna go in order of my week. This Sunday, I will be playing Monster of the Week on twitch.tv/game nights. That is game with 2 G's like GG, and nights with a K like the fellows with the swords. It is a every other week campaign, so this week is Sunday Prime. So be there or be rectangular. I don't know. That's at 4 p.m. Eastern. It is a cool system akin to things like Supernatural, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, like kind of Freak of the Week style, which is why it's called Monster of the Week. I am also... I played Borderlands here on Monday, last Monday, so I don't know if Joel wants to make that a thing again.
I mean, if
is that a thing
busy,
again? I'm down.
If you're not busy.
Yeah, I'll do that again. So I'll be here on Monday, apparently, at 7 p.m. We're just rolling with it, man.
Hell
Easy.
yeah, man.
Twitch.tv/runaway_robot for all you chumps listening in the future. You're not chumps. You're handsome and beautiful, and I love you. And then occasionally I'm even on my own channel. Twitch.tv/bonus_stage_Rob. I've been taking a break from streaming, trying to drum up some concepts, and they finally came to me in a fever dream of my commute. And I was like, oh, that's a good idea. I got to write it down before I forget. And then I remembered I was driving safely and I can't write. So be on the lookout for stupid shit happening at twitch.tv/bonus_stage_Rob. I feel like I'm rambling more than I usually do. Please save me, May. Please.
Hey, May. Do some shout outs. Thanks, Rob.
Hi, I'm the Lady May. That's MEA, because that's how my name is spelled, very weirdly. On Twitch, you can find me painting things of Star Wars or Game of Thrones, or recently we have the return of Cat Souls, which is characters as cats.
It's freaking adorable.
So good.
I love it so much.
You can check those photos out on my Instagram, on Twitter, and you can also see me post lots of pictures of my cats and dice collection.
Awesome. Thank you very, very much. Hi, I'm Runaway Robot. Joel, whatever. You probably know my channel, whatever. Tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, turns out I've been streaming on this platform for 2 years, and you people keep coming to watch, so I'll take it. But we're gonna do a little bit of an anniversary stream tomorrow night, so grab yourselves some White Claws and head on over for some shenanigans. That'll be fun. On Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we will have an additional penultimate episode for Waterdeep Dragon Heist. So if you want to watch me DM a show and take our heroes to the heist itself, then come around for that. It should be a good time. I'll do probably a little bit of DM prep in the before that as well. So that should be good. And then Monday, I'm gonna I guess play Borderlands with Rob. It's great. So that's about it. Please follow all of these lovely people here. If you haven't already followed the DieFall Twitter, that's at DieFall_RPG. If you want to get caught up on everything, you can head on over to the YouTube channel for Runaway Robot. And if you want to do the podcast version of all of this, go to iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, and look up DieFall Dungeons and Dragons and get the podcast things. And I think that's about it for us this evening. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in tonight. I appreciate it. Thank you, Cast, for being awesome. And Rob, thank you for the second to last episode of this season. And I can't wait to see how we top it all off. In 2 weeks, chat, put it on your calendar. The season finale will be October 3rd. Write it down. Later, everybody.
People will die.